I'll be highlighting our traffic monitor dashboard, which is one of our suite of operations solutions products. In particular, I'll be focusing on the I-70 corridor and the Improve I-70 project, particularly between Columbia and Points East towards Kingdom City. The kind of value of the traffic monitor is that you're able to visualize traffic conditions, whether it be speeds, volumes, travel times, delays, both in real time, which is in the last 3 minutes or so, in near real time, looking in the past, 40 to 72 hours, and then looking at historical data periods, going back in time several years. And all of these data can be compared against some sort of baseline that you define to really understand atypical traffic conditions and traffic patterns during construction events through work zones, special events, inclement weather, and other restrictions. So just to orient you to the dashboard here, we're looking at traffic speeds along this corridor in Columbia. My phone is telling me that it is 1:57 Central Time. So again, we're looking at traffic conditions from about a minute ago. And you can see both the real-time speed as well as a comparison speed from a typical day last month in April 2025, as well as the comparison against a free-flowing condition, typically in the overnight period. You'll also see on the bottom of the screen here is a time-lapse view where you can basically step at 15-minute increments to go back or forward in time to look at evolving traffic conditions. And what I found interesting just looking in the last hour or so was a stretch of I-70 here. We'll just jump back to around the noontime hour, and you can actually go in and step through and see queues forming at a particular location here along Interstate 70 with speeds of less than 10 miles an hour. You can see as that queue grows and as it begins to resolve itself and traffic returns to a more free-flowing state. What I'd like to highlight here are two kind of brief use cases, looking at traffic speeds through construction work zones to monitor the enforcement of reduced speed limits through those construction areas. And then also looking at how Traffic Monitor can identify long traffic queues related to construction work zone to help agencies better prepare variable message signage, other information to the traffic public to help inform them about upcoming slowdowns and reduce any sort of safety issue with back of queue crashes. So as I had mentioned at the outset, this is the Improve I-70 project. As part of that, some paving conditions began at the start of May. And we can go in and look at different traffic conditions. I'm going to go ahead and select the speed module here. And I'm going to go ahead and select a segment of I-70 eastbound near an interchange. And what you're going to see is a time series chart that has the free-flowing speed. So on a typical day, what's the free-flowing traffic speed? You can look at kind of the baseline comparison period, again, kind of April 2025. Again, you can see kind of typical free-flowing speeds, in the 65 mile an hour range. And then we can go in and look at a specific day when there may have been construction or there may have been lane closures or other median barriers being put into place for upcoming construction. And, what you can see is, I guess, twofold here. One was there was an obvious incident or lane closure restriction going on here where traffic was certainly slowing down to about 40 miles an hour or less for about a, 2-hour, 3-hour window here. And you can see, again, that kind of, traffic, began to flow again around 3 p.m. local time. What you can also see, though, is throughout the day, this yellow line here, your typical average speed is, around 8 to 10 miles an hour slower than the free-flowing condition on a typical day in the previous month. And again, that can be used to look at enforcement of reduced speeds through a work zone. The speeds here were reduced to 55 miles an hour. So again, you can monitor, kind of a before condition, a during condition, and then maybe after the enforcement period to see if those kind of traveler behaviors continued after the enforcement period ended. And then I'd also like to highlight the travel time module here. So you can go in and basically select any segment of your corridor and derive a travel time point to point by selecting different waypoints along a particular project area. And I've gone in and basically selected a segment of Interstate 70 here. You can see what a typical travel time looks like in April of 2025. Again, typically takes about 17 minutes to traverse this corridor. But on this particular day, on May 5th, you can see that there was that, incident or kind of lane closure, lane drop, around midday. And you can see again, travel times, greatly increased to around, 36 minutes or so. This tool could also be used to kind of understand where maybe some of that spillover traffic went on parallel routes, and again, understand how long that kind of traffic state took to go back to free flow. And I just wanted to highlight finally, when talking about kind of traffic queue lengths, we can return to this dashboard view, the timeline view, to basically step through those 15-minute increments to understand again how far that queue has progressed. So again, if we go to that middle of day event along I-70 eastbound direction, you can see around 1:30 in the afternoon, the queue length kind of reached its maximum, basically backed up here to this corridor here, and again, about a 2-mile queue.